span rivers and generations. New Hampshire's covered bridges are still standing today thanks to support from those who travel them the most.
These bridges are really here because these communities wanted to keep them. New Hampshire used to have almost 300 covered bridges, and now we have just over 60. And the ones that we still have are here because communities like this community did not want a steel and concrete structure in this place. And they could have. It would have been easier, it would have been cheaper, it would have been faster. And they said, no, thank you.
Kim Varney Chandler of Hancock has been taking pictures of covered bridges for years.
I loved the covered bridge in my town. I drive through it quite often. We kayak under it a lot.
In 2020, this high school counselor decided to visit every single one in the state.
I've always felt drawn to know who came before, who was here before.
The history buff started researching each bridge, scouring town records, and has now published a book, Covered Bridges of New Hampshire. She chose Newport's Corbin Bridge for the cover. It got its name from the Corbin family, which developed Coney Island and built a mansion overlooking the bridge.
I love the story of the bridge because it really shouldn't be here.
In 1993, the original one went up in flames. It was arson.
You couldn't believe somebody would do something like that.
Larry Cody, director of Newport's Historical Society Museum, saw the smoke on his way to work.
It's kind of devastating.
But the town rallied and hired New Hampshire's covered bridge master craftsman Arnold Grayton to rebuild it, using the old methods. Oxen helped to haul it into place. People in Newport helped put in the hand-carved trunnels holding it together.
People would come home from work, they'd stop, they would, hammer in a trunnel or something. And it was a real community builder. And if you talk to people from the town, they'll say that it was one of the best things that ever happened to this town. At the risk of sounding trite, it's like a phoenix from the ashes. This bridge was destroyed by a senseless act, and the town built it again.
Nearby, you'll find one of Newport's 2 railroad bridges.
It's the Pier Bridge, used to be known as Chandler Mills Bridge, not any relation to me, and it's the longest existing covered railroad bridge in the world. It's 228 feet long.
There are 7 existing covered railroad bridges in the world, and New Hampshire is home to 5.
They are rare. They weren't, though. Newport at one time had 19 covered bridges, and 13 were these. A traffic covered bridge was built for horse and buggy, and to imagine, an antique steam engine coming through here is a really powerful sight. And it's just massive. It's just massive. I mean, standing in it, you feel very, very small.
Why is this unique?
Well, this is a double town lattice truss, so it's just like the Corbin that we saw before, but there are 2. It's doubled, so it can hold more weight. As you can imagine, a train coming through here is pretty heavy.
Her husband Marshall and dog Pemmy often joined her on her bridge tour as she did her research.
Oh, I think it's wonderful. She's always got a project going on, so this was perfect for her. She spent every weekend traveling, going to the historical societies, and every night working on the boat.
We have a picture of Pemmy in the Pemmy at the Blair Bridge, which is kind of fun. And I sat on my couch with my laptop writing most of the book, and she sat next to me, so she's kind of a co-author, I guess.
As she wrote, Kim watched Bradford's Beament Bridge come back to life. This is the 3rd bridge to sit here. Those that built the first one were paid in rum.
So that's an interesting form of payment. We should bring that back.
This restoration project earned the town of Bradford an award from the New Hampshire Preservation Alliance in 2022.
It's one of Bradford's treasures. It really is. It holds the town together. It was amazing to see how people came together when it went into construction, how many people came out to watch the construction.
They're a lot of fun to work on. They're a challenge. Everyone's different. A lot of older materials, different things we're not used to. So it's a lot different than a traditional bridge. And it's nice when you're done, like we have ribbon cuttings, the town comes out, everyone's excited about it. So that part of it's really rewarding and fun.
From Bradford, we visited one of Kim's favorites in Warner, the Dalton Covered Bridge, which is believed to be the only one in the state named after a woman.
I've always liked it. It's a pretty basic bridge. It's nothing fancy. I just love it. I always have. I love the red roof. I love the windows.
To complement her book, Kim's also created a podcast where people can learn more about these beauties, like the Durgan and Sandwich, named for a local mill owner.
They were also an Underground Railroad stop, which I think is a kind of fascinating story, and people can learn more about that in the podcast.
Your book is a great resource for anyone who wants to check out all of the bridges.
And I hope so, and I hope that when they're there, they take a minute to think about why the bridge is still there. You know, it's not just there by happenstance. It's there because a community of people took care of it.